Yeah, well, you know, the difference between a campground and providing structure is that it's safer, it's more secure from the elements, and it's a little bit more stable feeling rather than just having tents. There's a sense of a community that people really invest in, and it doesn't have to be, they use these dome structures, but it doesn't have to be domes. What's really enabled the success of their project has been a stable community. And that's really what enables people to reach self-sufficiency faster than anything that we've been able to offer in terms of counseling or, you know, the kind of array of services that housed people seem to think are so important. We haven't been able to match the value of community and, you know, that sense of social place.
Belonging.
Yeah, exactly. One of the things that people have done in the 90s in trying to respond to homelessness is to create temporary warehouse kinds of shelters like the armories. Because they thought they worked in the 30s, they did them again, but they didn't work in the 30s and they're not working now. There's a group of people in Los Angeles who have created what's called a dome village, where they've used a grant from the, it was Arco Corporation, to buy domes that can be assembled anywhere. They're easy to clean, and they've created a stable community where people who are homeless can stay for 6 months or a year, as long as they need. It enables them to have privacy, stability, and community. They work together on chores like cooking and cleaning and keeping their community going. And it's enabled some people to become self-sufficient in the mainstream, and it's enabled other people to become self-sufficient outside of the mainstream because they've chosen not to reintegrate, but they've become part of the service structure at Dome Village. There are tremendous possibilities for this kind of sheltering because it alleviates the social alienation as well as the economic hardships that people face when they're homeless.
Of course,
I think it's one of the most hypocritical and reprehensible laws that exists on the books today, and it actually parallels the laws that were created in the 1930s when people were homeless. At that time, California increased its residency requirements by 3 years to prevent homeless people from being able to access services. And here we are 60 years later doing the same kind of thing with residency requirements. And we now have people who, there's no possible way for them to sleep at night because there is no legal shelter available, and whether they sleep on private property, they're trespassing. If they sleep on public property, then they're also breaking the law. So we've got an enormous, almost 3,000 people in the county who are homeless and no legal place to be at night.
Celine Marie Pascal.